The Wall Dancers by Yi-Ling Liu. Imagine growing up believing that internet would set you free and then slowly observed how it turned into a cage. In 2017, there was an estimate of 5.3 million Chinese websites. In 2022, that number dropped to 3.9 million. A third of the pages were gone. Quote, "It seems a monster is devouring web pages along the timeline of history." Today we're talking about The Wall Dancers, a book that gives us a peek behind the curtain of the joy and sorrows of the Chinese internet. The Wall Dancers tells the story of the Chinese internet by the people who lived it. The dreamers, the rebels, the nationalists, the coders. It shows how a space that once felt radically opened slowly became engineered, optimized and controlled, and how young people adapted, resisted or caved in. The part of this book that really lingered with me was the hope that was instilled by China opening up to the world after reforms by Deng Xiaoping. China would finally connect to the global economy. The Chinese youth finally got their hands on music from the West. New subcultures emerged. Youth culture became a thing. And this was the same time as the Chinese people hooked up to the internet for the first time, experiencing this new tool for communication and freedom. This was an energetic time, this was a creative time, but only 10 years or so later, the censorship, the shutting down, the limiting of what you could talk about came back in full force. This is the ebb and flow of the Chinese internet. During the financial crisis of 2008, China became disillusioned with their role versus the US. China had to lend their support and help the US during this time, and they realized they could stand pretty well on their own 2 feet. Quote, "Maybe it's time for the US to learn from us and not the other way around," end quote. As a result of this new gained confidence and national pride, Chinese youth started to criticize the West for fake news about their country. Just like the new hip-hop artists of the internet era criticized state media for their hypocrisy, now they were attacking the West, accusing big Western media companies for portraying Chinese in an unfair way. This type of openness and willingness to criticize both other countries and their own has long been taboo in China, but eventually the tides would turn. In the 2010s, China doubled down on censorship, upped the propaganda and limited what life could mean for its citizens. Censors weren't just removing posts from popular social media platforms and community sites. It was shaping visibility and redirecting attention. It was rewarding safe content while silencing risky voices. Posts disappeared, poof, accounts vanished, messages could be deleted as they were written, and slowly the wild internet became something engineered. One of my big takeaways from this book is that it really takes a toll on people to get a taste of freedom only to have it taken away. This was especially hard for the internet native. This part of the demographic had a really hard time. Many youths just gave up. Laying flat became a cultural phenomenon in China. This is kind of a Chinese version of the silent quitting trend that we've seen in the West, where mostly young people set out to do the least amount of work possible that their hiring contract would allow, and absolutely nothing more. The Chinese version of this, laying flat, is even more hardcore. It's opting out of ambition fully. Others saw migration as their only hope for a worthy life, but those who couldn't vote with their feet, they instead vote with their genitals. Having no children would at least deplete the country of people to suppress. I recommend this book for people who want to understand the tools government uses to manipulate and steer opinions within their society. It's easy to take it all in because it's happening in China, right far away from most of the viewers of this channel, in a country far, far away. But then suddenly you realize that if these tools that the Chinese government uses to suppress opinion, reward loyalty, and crush opposition and dreams, if it works this successful, you can bet that your government is copying one or two things from those tools and apply them to you right now. It's a book full of stories. It's from the people's point of view, the people, the struggling musicians, the struggling people in marginalized groups, the people trying to build businesses it has a lot of breadth, and it really informed me about Chinese culture and especially Chinese internet culture in a way that I found very interesting. This is a quite new book. I don't read many new books, but I really enjoy this one. It's a pretty sweet read, and if you want a glimpse of Chinese internet culture and history, then this is a book for you. That was the review for this week. I actually got 2 new books in the mail right before I recorded this video, so I just want to share them here because I'm going to review them on the channel and talk about them pretty soon. The first one is Fahrenheit 451, another classic. This is about a fireman. His work is to burn books. This is a dystopian story about a society where people live very shallow and unfocused lives. I've just started it, so I don't know much more about it, but I'm looking forward to it. There's probably a reason this is called a classic, and it started off really well as well. The other one is Code, the hidden language of computer hardware and software. Why, Björn, would you read a book like this? It looks so boring. It's not boring. This is because I feel like I want to get under the hood of the machines and know the ins and outs of how computers work. I think it will be a very helpful tool navigating the singularity that we are entering. So these are 2 books that you will hear more about the channel on this channel. Let me know in the comments what you are reading right now, and if you're looking for more book recommendations, check out my 2026 reading list. Check out the webpage because I have tons of lists there of books. I also have the great books list there with like I think it's 25 books that really changed my life. So there's always somewhere you can find a good book recommendation. Happy reading, everyone. Björn out.